Thank you for being here with me. We're on the Unfuck Yourself podcast. We have some of our queens from the last retreat here. We're all just the best of friends now, so they so kindly came to the Zoom room with me with no other reason than just making a podcast to, I don't know what we're doing here really, to talk about the retreat, to have fun, to answer questions about the retreat that people have. They're here to help me do that. We're here having a round table. Not everyone could join. We also had to move because I wasn't feeling well yesterday, but we have a few of the queens here. So what I want to get into, before that, if you don't know, we have our October, oh my God, you guys were October retreat. Oh, by the way, most of them are coming. Everyone in here is coming to the next one too. They loved it that much. So we're all coming back to hang out. We have our April retreat. It's the 12th to the 14th with an optional extra day on the 15th to hang out with me, these guys in here, my team, anyone else who wants to join. And I don't know if we can go skiing, Lena. Can we go skiing, or is it it's not the vibe?
It's probably not going to be the vibe. If you really want to, there are places that you can ski into the end of April, but it's not going to be in Park City. We'd have to go drive like 45 minutes, which isn't like a huge ordeal, but it's not going to be centrally located in Park City.
Okay. Oh, so we could drive like a 45-minute excursion and go maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just depends on the snow season. Like it's like snowed a ton this past weekend, but who knows what it will be when we're there.
Okay. Well, we might ski, we might not. Lena is in charge of it. Lena has a lot of excursions planned for each day.
We're going to do a nature walk. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. I will be joining one night. I will be joining in on the country dancing. So we're going to have a great time.
No, you're also joining in on PowerPoint night, Allie.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. That's a great idea. I'm gonna have to do that.
You can go first, and then it can be your bedtime, and then you can leave.
Well, I can't come on everyone else's PowerPoint though. Is the thing. I can't like share mine and then leave.
Fine. We'll figure it out. 10-minute cap for each person. We'll make it work.
Okay. Love it. I'll be there. We'll just share it at the house. Like we'll just do it at the retreat house. PowerPoint night.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up because that was actually my plan. So
we already made the plan without you. What are you outsourcing?
Can I outsource my PowerPoint? I'm terrible at making PowerPoint.
Oh, yes. It encompasses who you are, so we need to see it.
That's true. I'm terrible at PowerPoints.
Jordan, side conversation. We'll talk about this later.
Can I give like an interpretive dance for mine or no?
If you're talking the entire time, telling us fun facts, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Information plus whatever you want. The vibe is yours.
Okay, I'm gonna do an interpretive dance for mine.
Then she'll channel on the spot, put zero effort into it prior, and just be like, "What do I do? Go."
That sounds like me. That sounds like exactly what I'm doing right now too.
And you'll end in like the splits or something.
Yes.
I've seen Allie do improv on the spot and she killed it. So she can do it.
Oh, just wait what we have in store. Because Jordy knows, because Jordan was at that feminine energy retreat that I was at with Madeline Moon. So good, by the way. Like, you've got to do her work. She's having us do all kinds of stuff, like improving, fucking sacred theater. And I, to be so honest, was like living. I was like, oh, we've got to implement one of these. Which, like,
I'm terrified.
Don't give me any more information. Just spring it on me at the retreat.
Agreed.
The actor in me in my past life is thrilled.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah. Something I like to be prepared for. Other things I do not want to be prepared for.
Yeah. Don't give me time to be scared about it.
Okay, yeah, no. It's fun.
Yeah.
Me and Jordan will demonstrate. I'm summoning Jordan.
I found a whole passion for improv that I didn't know I had. So
love
actors out of this. I'm trying to figure out how to fit that in there because like it doesn't really it makes sense with what we're doing at our retreat, but like I'm trying to make it make sense with like this retreat. We'll figure it out. I'll make it make sense.
It's just wild card time.
Yeah, it's fine. One day you're gonna be like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. So I have you guys here today to just basically say nice things about me in the retreat and
Not a problem.
invite other people to come. Just kidding, but not really. I'm gonna this is funny. I'm gonna go around and we can each say some benefits we got from doing things in person versus like online. So of course you get benefits from online, of course you get benefits from literally anything. What made it different being in person and having just a full chunk of time to fully embody this work? Like what shifted for you and what made that different for you and what made that worth it to go for you? So I will start with Jordan.
Oh no. Okay. I'm good. I'm not good at improving on the spot with my voice. No.
Do a little dance if you have to.
For me, it's like 24/7 the whole time you're going and you're immersed in it and you're around people who are also in the same world as you, and so you feel like 100% comfortable and confident to like fully open up to all of your gifts and your intuition. And it's just like such a safe place. Like I've never felt like, I think we were all texting in the group chat like we want to go back so we can be in this safe, comfortable, loving environment. Like it literally felt like you were like on heaven and earth. I don't know how I would say that, but and it was such a magical time. And then you're like trying to go back to the real world and you're like, wait, take me back. But it was like the most wonderful time ever. And then you meet the most amazing people, and then you're like, I knew you my whole life, even though you just met them at this retreat. And then they just like, Lena, she texts me all the time. I'll be having the worst day and she'll just text me out of the blue like, I love you, I'm obsessed with you. I'm like, who could ask for something better than that? Like, you don't just meet these people on the street. I mean, you could, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the most amazing people in the world that you're now with. And it just opened up a whole new part of me that I didn't know exists. And I came back a whole different person. And I feel like it just jumped my timeline, and that I don't think could have ever happened if I hadn't gone to the retreat.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jordan.
Of course.
I wish the people could see what Jordan just did.
I know, me too.
Just like coming down out of the screen to like, and scene, cut.
And cut. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. Like it was so meeting everyone in person. I would this sounds creepy. You guys would be like talking. I would just be like looking at your face and be like, I feel like I've like seen this person for a very, very, very long time before. Like it was very interesting. That's like what happens though when you meet soul family. You like recognize them, but you like don't understand why. Like I'd be like staring at you guys and like a weirdo in the corner.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to go around and hug everybody. And I was like, is this weird? Like, can I just hug you and like hold you? But everyone was totally cool with it after I told them all that I'm going to do that. So
We all did that, Jordan, the entire time. Someone was always snuggling someone, like all the time.
Yeah.
all the time.
And I
And
love
especially, I'm not a touchy-feely person, but the whole time I just wanted to be touching and feeling everybody.
that. Oh my god, I love the snuggles. We love the retreat snuggles. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jordan. That was very sweet and beautiful. Thank you. I'm like, who wants to go next? Lena, go ahead.
Okay, well, everything Jordan said is true. You like come into this and you're like, truly, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I will. I think every single person was nervous walking in. It's like this brand new experience. You've never met any of the people there before. You don't know what to expect. You have all these limiting beliefs of like, well, so-and-so looks good all the time. Like now I have to like up level my outfits just to lounge around a house type of thing, or oh, so and so's like wearing makeup, that means I have to wear makeup the whole time. And then you walk into the situation and you're like, those are cute thoughts, but so not true. Like everyone who's there does not care. It's exactly what Jordan said. We're like, it's such a safe place because everyone is ready to just like figure out their limiting beliefs. And so it doesn't matter like if someone's wearing makeup and someone's not wearing makeup, it's your own thing. But I think also it's like the community of what you take home afterwards. And now you have all these different friends who are learning the same things as you, or maybe they are a little bit ahead of you on their intuition game, that you can honestly, you can just like call them up and be like, what's going on? Tell me what's going on in my life. Like, I'm emotional. I can't read this. What's going on? And then they can help you through it. Or if you need someone to be like, hey, can you call me out on my shit? Like, they'll call you out on your shit and be like, oh, okay, this is your limiting belief, blah, 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 blah. So it's not just everything you have at the retreat, but it's everything that you're going to take home from the retreat. It's everything that's like changing your life. And the other thing that I'll add, which nobody warned me about in the kindest way possible, but the detox is so real. Like the way that you're quantum leaping and like just leveling up the entire time at the retreat, you got to detox everything and it's going to hit hard. So I think my detox from that retreat lasted like 3 weeks. And I was so smelly and I was exhausted, and I do it all again. And I am doing it all again. Because you're also just at this point where you're like, let's just release everything I can. Let's just like get back to peace in our heads and release all the limiting beliefs.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, the detox is a situation, but you're detoxing like shit that was gonna stay in your system and like follow you and create
fantastic things. I just like, as somebody who hadn't really, I was in a few classes of yours, but I hadn't like finished any classes. I knew nothing about intuition. Maybe that's a great thing to talk about. I knew nothing about intuition going into the last retreat, and everybody's talking blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, this just seems like logic though, you guys. And you're like, no, that's intuition. And I'm like, no, that's logic. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it, walking in knowing nothing. And even at that retreat, we didn't even go into how to like tap into your intuition. And this one is all about tapping into your intuition.
Yeah. No, I forget about that. Like, you really did like go in there never taking.
I was really pushed off a cliff, man. Just really.
She specifically said, I don't do this work, guys.
Not me dying at the pool when she said that. And then she's like, read me. And I'm like, how do I tell her in the nicest way possible? This is your life now, Lena.
You're stuck now.
There's no going back.
There's no turning it off.
No, I literally forget though, because you have quantum leaps kind of like the knowledge you have in the way you live life. So it's wild. Like, I literally forget. I forget.
Yeah. To me that it's only been what, like 4 months, 5 months, and I'm like, oh wow, October me was so cute. And so cute.
Let's do like 5 months ago at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Jonna, go ahead. Oh, by the way, Lena and Jonna, I was pronouncing both their names wrong for in the classes online for so long. They show up to their training, they're like, oh, by the way.
No, that took a solid 3 days before you figured that one out.
Oh, it did. Well, everyone's calling you Lena, and I was like, they're saying her name wrong. Like, it's Lena. Like, they clearly have it wrong. Like, who's gonna tell them?
We didn't know how.
Look, Allie, we love you. You're aloof. That's what we love about it. So if I introduce myself and you still continue to say something else, whatever. I did my due diligence. I said
we tried.
I didn't do it.
Literally, the other day I called Jonna Gianna. Like, in it's just like it's been programmed in my brain.
It's okay.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. I corrected it right away. Yeah, so if I'm mispronouncing your name anywhere, like just tell me because I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. Jonna, go ahead.
I feel like I have so much to say that I don't know what I want to say. Um, I remember when you announced it and I was terrified because I was like, I want to do this so badly, but I had never spent that amount of money at once before. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But then like I sent in the application and I got my approval back and I was like, I have to do this. I literally had this like vision of like a path. I was like, I can either go on the path I'm still on, or I can do the scariest thing I've ever done in my life and do this crazy thing. But it just felt so right. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I have to do it. And it's literally the best thing I've ever done in my life. And I was very nervous and I was so in my own head. I was like, oh my God, like, what if they don't like me? I'm being a weirdo. Like, I don't know what's going on. And we all literally fell in love like within a day, like legitimately within hours. I was like, I love every single one of these people. And when we left, I was like, I feel like I've known you for so many lives. Like, it's crazy. I was like, I deeply love these people. Like, I can't believe this is real, especially because I know like with UIA, it's like also possible to develop connections, but I didn't. So I was like, oh, like maybe I won't really be close with anybody, whatever. And then like the second day happened, I was like, nope, I'm in love with all of these people. I need to have them in my life forever. Like this is fantastic. And then with intuition, like I had learned and I was like in the loop, but I did not practice a lot. And we came out and Lena was like, hey, you need to help me practice. And I was like, okay. And it sped both of us up so much. And I'm so grateful. And now we're all like, hey, can you just check on this thing for me? And like, it's so good. But you guys literally feel like family to me. And that is the number one thing that I got from this trip that I love so much. On top of all the a million other amazing things that we did and that I got out of it.
Thank you so much. Incredible. Thank you. Yeah, it really is like a family. I mean,
Yeah.
group chat's still going. I think you guys have one that you told me without me also. Like we've got the group chats going still.
There's many.
There's many group chats. So I love that. Yeah, it truly did feel like we were just instant besties, like hanging out like 24/7. And like at the end of the retreat, I was like tired because I also did the reprogramming on myself, like as I was doing it on everyone. And obviously from teaching and stuff, but it wasn't like a drained, like, oh, like I'm these people energy. It was like a satisfying, like we just had a really cool shift together feeling, you know? So that was also cool that like I didn't even feel like I had to like like run away and like protect my energy in between things. Like we could also all hang out in between like workshops unless I was like really tired. I was like, I gotta lay down for a second.
It
But
was really like it
go
was like
ahead.
a full embodiment of like girls being girls. Like we were just girling it up and having the best time, like all day.
Yeah, all day, all day. And TikTok shenanigans, like all of it. We love it. And yeah, that's what I love is like making like because that stuff can be heavy and stuff, but I really like to make it not and make it fun because it also doesn't have to be so like heavy, we can
Mhm.
shift and not have to be that heavy either. Thank you. Keisha, go ahead.
The best for last. My favorite part was I've taken a ton of your classes online and they're great. But the difference is like when you're done with the class online, like you shut it off and like I might sit and do the homework after, but then like you're kind of checked out until the next week comes back. But with the retreat, it was really nice to like we worked on something and then like we were in that energy and it just felt more powerful because everyone there was working on the same thing. So you really stayed in that embodiment and that like willingness to shift and like try new things. So that I felt like it was more beneficial or like more potent, if you will, because you're just like really, really embodying it for the full like 3 days. And then I loved like obviously what you guys said, like we just all clicked. And as we all know, I'm a medium. And the one night when I like went up to Jonna and I was like, hey, that was your grandpa. And I was like, what other place can I just go up to someone and be like, hey, that was your grandpa coming through? And them not look at me like I have 3 heads.
It was so
That's
good.
when
You
I
were
was
like,
this is it.
wait, did you have a grandpa pass? And I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, yeah, that was the moth thing. And I was like, oh cool.
She goes, oh, that's awesome. I was like, okay.
The first words I ever heard come out of Keisha's mouth were something about her past life being hunt.
Oh, yeah,
and I was
on my past life.
what?
She goes, what? I was like, yeah. It's a thing. It happened.
Yeah.
Casual.
Like, okay.
Literally nothing
too.
was off limits.
Not
That
at
was
all.
the best.
No.
Nothing was off limits. Jordan and I were talking about the ghost boy that she sees in her house on the
Oh, yeah.
Uber to the house. And I was like, this man who's driving us thinks we're crazy, but I don't care because I feel so connected to this girl right now.
100%. Everyone can fully be themselves.
Yes.
I still think about that Uber because Jonna and I were talking about, we're like, we've never met each other before. And now we're going to this place, this house of this person we've never met before. And,
He's like,
and then
let's
we
lay
pull up to the
everything on the
driveway
table.
and Christy's mom's like, have y'all ever done this before? We're like, no. And we're all like happy, cheery. And then she's like, I have to make sure that this is safe. I'm gonna go in the house with y'all.
Mom literally came in the house.
She did.
And I was like, I swear it's not a cult. We're just on a
We're just girls.
Program our subconscious.
So,
Not a cult. We're fine.
Well, be happy y'all weren't mine and Allie's Uber because we tried to just have a little tiger snooze and we couldn't even shut our ears off. We heard a full story. I don't know. It was a lot.
We didn't sleep the night before. You know, it was
Situation.
it was a lot. We just got off a flight. Like, it was a lot going on this Uber driver. I literally picked the quiet ride. He didn't understand the assignment. He did not understand.
We didn't have 1 second of silence, not one time.
Not one. Oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you guys for sharing that. Yeah, I really think like even from my end of teaching, like the thing I really feel like the embodiment that you do there, like we're embodying it. Like we had like the dress up nights and like each night was like a theme of like dress as this version of like your higher self and this part and this thing. And like it sounds silly, but like you really do like embody that and you really do like put that energy on. And then just like, you know, the actual physical movement we're doing and like we're just embodying stuff. And so getting mind is like one thing, like learning stuff, but then it's like actually immersing yourself and embodying it. Like you shave years off of like your body understanding something, your brain understanding something, your subconscious getting reprogrammed. Plus like just the friendships that have been cultivated with all of us have just speak for themselves. And I'm never like the person to be like oh no, I need to separate, like I'm your teacher, you know, like I'm your teacher, I'm not your friend kind of thing. I've never been that person. And so like I even just like personally love like sorry, I'm still like sinus situation. I personally love like that aspect as well, and just cultivating those like deep just soul family connections with everybody. Okay, just one more question for everyone because I don't want to make this like too long, but what would you say to somebody who maybe really wants to go and they feel called to go, but then the fear comes in around like, oh, I don't know, like, will I regret it, or some kind of fear comes in of like stopping them, but their soul, if you don't actually feel called to go, like we're not talking to you, like we're talking to you if your soul feels called to go, but maybe you have some kind of fear like stopping you. So we can make it a free for all. Anyone can go say anything. But what would you guys, having gone and experienced and pushed through any kind of fear that you had of meeting new people, or what if it's weird or whatever, what would you say to them?
I would say invest in yourself because it's going to pay off. Like for an example, I shed so many limiting beliefs when I was there, obviously made new friends and everything, but then I came back and applied everything that I learned to my business. And then I had my first 15K month. And I know, like, to my fucking core, I wouldn't have shed that many limiting beliefs in that short amount of time to make that impact on my business that I had.
Yes, so good. So fucking true. So fucking true. Yeah. And you're like surrounded by everyone else who's like thinking the same way as you. And
Sure.
so like I think sometimes, and like honestly, I don't feel this way at all anymore because of just I've been doing this for a long time. Plus I've like only like talked to people honestly who like also have this kind of understanding at this point, but like this work can feel so isolating. So like taking the radical responsibility, doing the work on yourself, that kind of thing, it can feel so isolating that like, um, you know, having people like actually in your space, like not just online, but like actually around you, and it's like tangible, and you're like, oh wait, like I'm not so weird, or I'm not so like random for thinking this way. And I think that really like helps too. Thank you, Keisha Queen.
Of course. And then having people to connect with after when you're like, we're getting hit with reflections and being like, okay, you've gone through this too. Like, you get it. I'm not alone.
Yes. Yes. Can you just imagine real quick, like going to like a normal therapist and telling them, oh yeah, well, this person's being really mean to me, but it's just my reflection because I'm being mean to myself. So they're actually not toxic, it's actually me.
I'm the toxic one, so what should we do? How do I fix it?
They'd be like, but then you just stay in your same loop of your problems instead of shifting them. So I feel like, maybe not necessary.
So funny. I'll
Um,
add to that, like, if you're wanting to start to do this work, I don't know because I went to the retreat, but like I can imagine it's very hard to do it alone by yourself versus just jump starting and doing it with a group of people and being able to ask them questions. And I'd also just say, like, if you're like afraid to go for whatever reason, or you think you're going to regret it, like what's the worst that can come from you going? At some point you just have to jump off the cliff and see if it's right for you. And if you feel like it's not right for you, then great. You feel like it's not right for you, you can go into a different direction. And if you realize that you love it just like everyone else, then you have like these lifelong friends who understand what you're going through, what a reflection even is, and can help you out in the long run.
I love that. Yes, thank you. That's so good.
The thing also is like for me, the taking the risk of actually going was so beneficial to me in its own right. Like I feel like I was one person before I went, in the time of actually going to the trip and getting there, and then after, because like pushing yourself to do something that you really feel called to do, and quieting your old limiting beliefs of like, I can't do this because of the money, I can't do this because it's scary, I can't whatever, like not allowing yourself to talk yourself out of it is such a major shift in itself, that like it's so beneficial for you to do it for that reason alone. And then you have all the other things that we get out of it too.
I love that. Yes. So good. Such a good point. Thank you.
I agree with Jonna so much because for me, like, I think I had the most fear. Like, I didn't even decide to come until like the very last minute because I convinced myself on the last retreat. I was like, no, I'll just go another time. I don't need to. Like, I don't want to spend the money. Like, I'd like convinced myself I didn't want to go. And then very last minute, it was like, okay, I'm doing this. And I was terrified. I was like, I'm terrified to fly there. I'm terrified to get an Uber. I've never gotten an Uber in my life. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm terrified of going to LA. Like, absolutely, the whole thing, I was just terrified. Ended up being the easiest trip ever. And then I get off the plane and see Jonna's beautiful smiling face, and everything was just easy. We just got there, everything was beautiful. And then ever since, it's like, I think I just accelerated my timeline so much. I came back a different person, and I realized like I actually enjoyed traveling alone. Like it wasn't scary. And I found it so much fun. And then I was like, wait, when can I go again? And that encouraged me to then go to Sedona for the Madeline Moon, which again, like completely, it came back a whole different person. And so now I'm just like, well, who am I going to come back this next time? Because I feel like what we did in what was it, 5 days? That that probably would have taken me 2 years, but we did it in 5 days. And then I came back and I was like, wait, who is this version of me? Like it was just a whole new Jordan. And so yeah, no, it's one of those things that, like, even if you're concerned about the finances, like you look back and you're like, oh heck, I would have done that 3 times over. I mean, that's why we're going on another one. Like it was the best time ever. And I've never been one to really enjoy sleepovers. I've never felt comfortable around other girls. Like I always felt real like uneasy in my own skin, you know? And this time I was like, this is like, it was the most relaxed I've ever been in my life. Like the most comfortable. I like probably more comfortable than I feel at home. And so to me, it was just like the best experience. So anyone who hasn't done it, I'm like, you have to do it. You don't even understand. Like we can't even put into words what it's like, honestly.
Thank you. It was so beautiful. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, I mean, it is I made so many bullet points in my head as you were talking. I was like, wait, I need to say this. I need to comment on that. Now they're gone. It is so cool to see everyone. Like, I got to watch like the evolution of everyone like throughout the days, and it was just really cool to like, I mean, mind-blowingly quick how fast people were shifting things, how fast everyone was like opening up, and everything like that. And even like coming home, when everyone came home, we were all texting and everyone was like, I literally don't feel like I belong in my current reality. Like everyone was like, I don't belong here. I don't belong in my current reality. And that's such a good thing because you've just quantum leaped out of it, you know? And now all you get to do is like continue to follow through that quantum leap, and things will shift. And so to like leave for 5 days, go home, and then feel like nothing in your life like fits this current reality is like a massive fucking quantum leap in just a short amount of time. And even more affordable this time than what we did last time, which is really cool and exciting too.
And hopefully Alex won't lose money on this one.
Yeah, if you don't know, and I didn't tell you guys because I was like, I'm having so much fun, but I think I mentioned this like on a Q&A in my Instagram because someone asked like, I forget, I think someone asked like why I'm not having everyone stay at the house. And it's because I said, because I have to charge way more, and I like just had a bigger one where I charge more, so like we'll like go back and forth maybe. And last one I didn't charge enough, and so I actually lost money teaching and going to the retreat, which like I literally don't even care because I had so much fun this time in my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But as a business decision, that's like not the smartest thing to do, and new COO Sarah would for sure frown upon that and probably be like, we're not even gonna do that. So so this time I want to make it just more attainable in a short amount of time for people, and how I did that was not having everyone stay at the house, and not getting a private chef, and not getting a lymphatic drainage massage girl, and not getting outside things. But I feel like that there's a time for that, and there's a time for like not that, you know, like there's a luxury version of a retreat like that, and then there's a retreat where you're going, it's comfy, cozy, you're reprogramming, and then you have your own like place to stay. So I think there's a time and place for both for sure. And next time for the more luxury rental, I just know better now of like what you actually have to like charge for one of those, because we had a private chef, you guys, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner like constantly, and he's good. So he was a high value chef, which is a high value prices, which is more than I'd pay for him because he was amazing. But we don't need that at like every retreat if we want to like have different price points too. So No private chef at this one, but we'll do that again sometime. Oh my God, you guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us here today. Everyone that you guys just heard from will also be at the retreat again, along with a few other people from before, and then along with a few other people from who are new, who are coming. So if you're new and you're like, oh my God, wait, I wasn't at the first one, like, am I gonna feel left out? No, like, one thing I will say about myself, and is I attract some really cool fucking people, and I know that to be a fucking fact. And everyone here is nothing but fucking pure love. And there's not a judgmental bone in anyone here's bodies, and they're so welcoming and accepting and open. So if you're new and worried, I'm like, oh my God, like they all were together the last one. There's also other new people coming, number one. Number two, they are so loving and welcoming and fun. And Lena's coordinating fun things to do after the days of learning. And then we're gonna all hang out on the 15th too, if you want to stay. That's optional. And anything we do will be set a separate price and cost from the actual retreat. We're not gonna do anything like crazy though, but just so everyone listening knows that. And we will put the link for you in the show notes, and you have until the 13th of March to apply and until the 15th of March to officially book it.